we're people with itchy ears. We don't look. Examine your own self. Financially, how are you handling your finances? How have you been handling it for the last 10 years? Do you spend it before you get it? No. And if you had been faithful, but where would you be at now? And so when God don't deliver in your hands what you think you ought to have, maybe there's a reason that he don't. And maybe the reason ain't with it, or they don't like me, they try to hold me down, they try to do this to me, and I'm a runaway train running wild. I ain't got no control. You know, in order for God to put you over anything, you got to be. If God's favor will put you over anything, or will put you over something, but he'll put you over a little like you do a child. You put him over a little, and if he knows how to work that, then you work him up the ladder. It's not like, okay, that's my baby, I'm gonna give them. They can't control their own finances. They couldn't possibly control the finances of a home. They couldn't possibly control the finances of a church. They couldn't possibly control the finances of business. If you got a business now, and your business has been in business for over 10 years, if you don't have $100,000 that you can put your head, that's something wrong. That's something wrong. God said that there's something wrong. See what I'm saying? God said that there's something wrong. But I want this, and I want that, and I want that, and I want to do this. No, no, no. I heard the Lord say, you need to sit down. You need to rest a while. You need to sit down. Because you are the very image of that prodigal son. You spend everything that you have on Riley's image. He was not investing anything. He was not laying up anything for a rainy day. My old mother used to tell me, she said, son, a penny saved is a penny earned. If you ain't saved nothing, you hadn't made nothing. You're the dog running behind rabbits. You started chasing behind a vision or a dream that's not there. A mirage. There's no stability. That's what they call being drunk and not filled with the Spirit. It's filled with the Spirit is stability. I build such a relationship with God. Well, I don't have to have all this. I got a good relationship with God. Are you sure about that? Because God, having a good relationship with God is having stability in your life. God is not concerned with how much money you hold it on to. He's more concerned with the principle that you hold it on to. He's talking about being faithful over a little, and it doesn't make any difference what the little is as long as you're faithful over it. He's not talking about prophecy and prophesying. He's talking about foresight. He's talking about being able to see further than the tip of your nose. He's talking about look. And I can speak from. I can speak from both ways because I own businesses. And not only that, own businesses, I've been a pastor now for 28 years. So I'll be able to speak something on there, whether anybody want to hear it or not. When you're responsible for people's lives, you can't go flying down the highway because you're leading people somewhere. And your responsibility from God is to feed my lamb. You cannot feed people tainted stuff. You cannot have an ear where you don't hear God and start feeding people what everybody is saying was popular. And you have to be able to stay the course. And if all hell breaks loose, you cannot fall apart. You got to build your house on the solid rock. When you build a house on a solid rock, when all hell breaks loose, you're able to still stand. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody sees the pain or anything. When you build your house on sand, you just wash down the avenue. You washed over here, you washed over there. Your house is built on sand. Whether you see it or not, whether you want to claim it or not, whether you want to acknowledge it. See, the devil is a liar, and he's a liar from the start. He created a lie. So he's not going to confess it. He's not going to forsake it. He's going to hold on to it, and he'll get angry with you if you try to press it. He's a scorner. He don't want no part of the truth. That same chapter there, where the prodigal son comes to himself and repents, Leviticus 26 and 40, that whole story there, that whole story of this nation, that whole story of a people that's been set up apart by God, that's been placed in captivity, that's lost their freedom, that lost their ability to get on their feet, has to repent before God. The same story that's in Chronicles, chapters 2, I believe, chapters 2 Chronicles 7, chapter 7, the same story about if my people that are called by my name would pray, turn from it. In other words, repent. 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 Because this child here is out of control. This prodigal son is out of control. That's why he's a prodigal son. He's out of control. Everything in his life, the little thing, the big thing, the great thing, you might not want to mirror that up against yourself. You might not want to magnify that. You might not want to know what's stopping your flow. You might not want to know. You might just want what you want, when you want it. Don't worry about it. They got people over there that set up to preach to those with itchy ears. They got programs that are built up, welfare, food stamps, everything else, to get you away from any authority, to get you away from any structure, to get you away from any guide or instruction. They got programs already set up for that. Already set up for that. Many of those programs are to move the fathers out the house, the authoritative figure out the house, the power out of the house, so that they can do anything that they want to do, so that they can guide, so that they can make a movement the way they got a movement going on now. It's exactly what it is. And just because you don't accept it, just because you don't acknowledge it, just because you don't confess it, doesn't change the facts. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. And so my people that are called by my name would pray, humble themselves, turn from their own way, because there's 2 cents down there, there's 5 cents, there's 30 pieces of silver that we are so ready. There are more people that are running more after a job. There are more people now that's running more after the apartment, after a house, after a business. There are more people now that are selling their soul for material things than building a relationship with God and building on a solid rock, listening to the teaching of God, humbling themselves to the teaching of God. There are more people now that are emotionally led by the Spirit and not by the Word of God. Yeah. There are more people that want to hear what they want to hear, when they want to hear, and that's good. It doesn't go anywhere. There's no power in it. There's no structure in it. There's no keeping force in it. And behold, if a famine break out, a mighty famine break out, you will see where it leads. Nowhere. Nowhere. To the selling of your soul. They call it a boiling of a frog. When you don't have the ability, most people, even in relationships, when people see in a relationship, when people are unfaithful relationships, they want to go to the next level. We want to forget that. We want to go to the next. No, it doesn't work like that. Number one, there's a process. Because David said it like this: it doesn't cost you anything. You doesn't pay the price. So you can move on, and you can move on, and you can move on. When we're in soul saving, it takes a period of time for things that you have messed up. You ever heard me say that, son? I'm going to clean up where I messed up, started my life all over again. It's not jumping from one thing to another. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. No, you need to clean up some of the mess that you already made. You need to walk right before God, because God It's not sitting like a welfare system. Oh, give them this right here. Let them have this right here. Raise them up to this right here. The devil is a lie. That's what's happening in the body of Christ now. That's what's happening in the church now. That's what has the church. So, see, the church is supposed to be the light to the world. We're supposed to lead the world. You know, I'm not saying that all have not seen it and come short of the glory of God, but there's a point where you meet God at the crossroad, where the prodigal son met God, and he said, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and no more worthy to be called your son. I'm no more worthy of that favor. You don't owe me anything. You don't owe me anything. You paid the full price on Calvary's cross for the remission of my sins. Now it's time for me to work out my salvation. Now it's time for me to clean up some mess that I done messed up. He said, I sinned against heaven. He said, instead of people joining the church or whatever, people looking at the church saying, well, what are you doing over there? What are you, oh, you allow this, you allow that. Well, I want to be in the next office now. Well, no. There are still people watching you, watching your mess. Know about your mess. So there's a time and a season for everything. This prodigal son, when he came, look at his brother. His brother was already, man, that joker, I've been here all along. There are people that feel like that. There are people that feel like that. And God took him, his father took him and put a ring on his finger. He put a robe on him. But he told his son, everything that I have is yours. He said, we'll celebrate that he was once dead and now alive. Lost and now found. That's what we celebrate. We're not celebrating his next promotion. We're not celebrating his next elevation. We're celebrating the fact that he was lost and now he's found. Dead, but now he's alive. And when they said starting my life all over again, there's a new growth. There's a new growth. And so I've got to walk contrary to how I was walking from the start. And I've got to be that example, and I've got to stop looking for welfare. I want you to do this, and I'm into this. And you know, there are more people nowadays that are doing some heck of a thing, and they won't continue to grow. They don't want no repentance. They don't want no, I'm not worthy to be called your son. Let me tell you like this. Whether you want to or not, there's a meeting at the crossroad. And God is at the crossroad. And in order for you to get to the other side, you got to go through God. And all that stuff that you can imagine, all that stuff that you can put up, all that defense that you can put up, the Bible said that there was a Pharisee that came. He said, I paid my tithes and I'm always doing this. But the publican said, forgive me a sinner. And he smote it and he went to his house. Well, he was considering the fact that he was a sinner. He was remorseful for the life that he had lived and the example that he had set against heaven and in his father's eyesight. And he was not trying to be an entitlement. He was not living an entitled life where I'm your son. He was living a life that I'm no more worthy to be called your son. And look at where the hearts met at the crossroad. And where the hearts met at the crossroad, because when the father saw him from afar off, when he got close to him, he fell on him and he kissed him on his neck. Because he was reading his heart. He was searching his heart. And when he said, this is my son that was dead, but now is alive. This is my son that was lost and now am found. He was saying that he had a changed heart. He was saying that it was not the same spirit that used to be in him. And he could tell that it wasn't the same spirit because he wasn't ready to, I want to start this, I want to do this, I want to do this. No. He said, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. You know what God cares about most? I don't know. It's go down in there where everybody understands, where everybody gets. Sometimes you can eat like you want to, you can do like you want, you can have everything that you want. And when you eat stuff you ain't got no business eating. And when you go to the bathroom, you don't want to spray and you don't want to shed the dust. Because it's like your mess don't stink. Like your mess don't. And that's how many people that you meet in ministry today, that's how they are. No matter what they've done, no matter how they live, they mess don't stink to them. They mess don't stink. You understand what I'm saying? And so when you meet God at the crossroad, God has a nostril for sweet smell and not strange incense. And that mess where you be dealing at is strange. When I was raised up to the third heaven before God, all the stuff that I had prayed, all that crazy stuff, all the ideas you get, when my life passed before me, that mess was foolish in the eyesight of God. See, you have to sit down and see one thing. You got a magnifying glass to be used for a minute. One thing, you have to look within your own self. The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God is righteous. In other words, the kingdom is within me. When I take that long journey within myself, when I come to know myself, when I search myself, because I look at myself and I hate my own life. I hate my own life. My life don't really qualify to where I need to be. My life don't qualify for what God used me for. And I know that I'm an unprofitable servant. I know this. Amen. And I know without the Lord, I'm nothing and nobody. See, I know every time that I get my feet in the door, every time I want to have my way. And I know that's how things get messed up. That's how things get messed up. You understand what I'm saying? See, the call that's on my life, the call that's on your life, the commission that's on your life, is God has called you in to clean you up and to wash you up. God has not called you in to fame and fortune. God has not called you to be the next person up on the stage. God has called you in to clean you up, to wash you up. Your life needs to be an example for somebody else that's going through the same thing that He pulled you up out of. And you got to walk, and you got to have sound doctrine. That old wiggly woggly doctrine we deal with, that old up and down, that old self-serving doctrine. You got to have sound doctrine. We're living in a time like you don't have to accept this. You don't have to accept it, but as sure as I'm a man of God, you watch in the next few years, not the next few years, God telling me right now, within the next year, don't line yourself up right with God. Don't get yourself right with God. Don't get your heart right with God. Say, I don't want to hear that mess he talking. Go somewhere where they teaching good, where it's scratching your ears, where you feel good about yourself. I got me some feel good. The Bible said, don't be drunk with the wine, filled with the Spirit. Thank you, Holy Ghost. You ever thought about that? When you start to listen to what you want to listen to, and things start to make you feel good, it makes you feel just like that alcohol used to do before you got real drunk. It makes you feel real good about yourself. If they preaching you and you just, boy, look at it, woo, praise the Lord, I'm finna go to the next level. I know my day was coming. You just as drunk as a skunk. You think the devil gonna let you with that relationship that you and him, you have been paying pity pat with him all day long. You ain't broke the relationship. You done come with a Cain type mind. You done offer God anything. You ain't repentant of this stuff that you offer God. You ain't remorseful about none of this stuff. You ready to go to the next level. You ain't even had a funeral for that old you that's supposed to be there. You ain't even had time to bury it. You ready to go. And what makes it so bad, just like my life, done affect so many people that them people are still watching. Them people are still seeing what you about. where you going to, what your life is. That's why he said all have sinned and come short. That's why he said you got to die and he live within you, because God is taking you to an expected end. That booby trap that the devil working with in the mind, you ain't going nowhere. You just want to be the next chapter so that the devil can use you to offend somebody else, so you can keep on running people out of the church, out of the building, out of relationship with God, behind what you want. And never meeting God at the crossroad in your heart and say, Lord, I'm sorry for the sin, for the life that I'm living. I don't love the life that I'm living. I need a new life. I need a change. And I'm going to wait on my change. And I'm going to wait on my change. While I'm waiting, I'm going to get myself ready. I'm going to feed and I'm going to eat. You know, being on drugs, being strung out on drugs, they got crack out there, they got all kind of stuff. Now, I told y'all they were going to do that some years ago. But you know, you're sitting around, you done got arrested, or you can't go nowhere, and you got to sit there and you got to feed and you got to eat until you get stripped to stand up. You can't just jump up and stand up. Let me show you something. We've got people in the body of Christ now. You know what the Bible says, that being sick amongst you, let them call for the elders of the church. You know, most people wait on the elders to call them. Look at, I had more people tell me, well, I was coming to church, but I was sickly. But you knew that a week or so ago. Let me show you something. I live by faith and not by sight. And my faith is in the Lord. And if I got faith in God, if I do what God said to, and not what I want to do, not what I think it ought to be, not what I... See, the scriptures to no private interpretation. See, everybody got an interpretation of the scripture. The scriptures to no private interpretation. He said, he said very plainly, he said that being there six amongst them, let them get off their behalf and call for the elders of the church. You didn't call for prayer. No, I didn't. Well, you hurt my feelings. Well, baby, your feelings gonna be messed up. If you think I'm gonna go against God's word to satisfy your behalf, the devil is a lie. The Bible says that being a sick amongst you, let them call for the elders of the church. Because number one, you got to want God to hear you. I tell you what, let me show you how big a liar that devil be, and how the devils got to meet God at the crossroad. Them same devils will sit right there and the wind will blow. Call the ambulance, call the hospital, call my doctor, set an appointment. Yes, doctor, my stomach hurt, my head hurt. Yes, on the 3rd, yes, I could be there. What time? 8 o'clock, okay. The preacher ain't called me yet. Oh, yeah. Well, praise the Lord. That's your dog. You ain't talking about the preacher, you talking about your food. You talking about somebody you can use. You talking about somebody that should be under your feet. Well, I tell you what. On deathbed, make sure you call that doctor and tell that doctor you ain't got no more medicine. You know what that doctor probably tell you? Your insurance doesn't run out. You just live quite. How old are you now? You just live a full life. Yeah. Huh? Huh? We getting ready to move into, now this might sound crazy, but we getting ready, those of us that are going to make it into another year, into another season. And God, look here, God is preparing. See, we're not at Resurrection Temple, we're not at a membership. It's about discipleship. And nobody is using you messed up to go out there and mess somebody else up because you think you're entitled to something. See, what it is, you have to die in order. See, the way God showed it to me, he said, if I be lifted, not you, if he be lifted. He said, unless you die, you're going to buy it alone. But once you die, God add on to the church's ministry to be saved. God, see, a lot of people just come in and they just add on through entertainment. I can go and pay somebody right now. They can play them drums. They can play the keyboard. I don't know what spirit they're going to be operating under, but they got a spirit, you know. No, I tell you what, if you really want to do something, now I do have the hookup, and I did come, wasn't always saved. I could go get me some gangster DJs that I know personally. And they can thump it off in here. Boom, want to be saved. Hey, everybody going to heaven today. Jesus is in the room right now. Don't you go nowhere, that's stay. God is on your road right now. Come on, Pastor, come on. That's it. But it'll be gone faster than that hangover you used to have. This is the people that's in the discipleship, that's trying to go somewhere, that God meets at the crossroad. And there's some things that you have to have in your heart. This prodigal son, he had to have something in his heart. He had to not be all lifted up in arrogance and pride. He had to say, oh, I believe I'm going to do this for God. I'm going to do that for God. Any parents in here that ever raised children that brought them through high school or junior high, I don't know whether your children ever wanted to play the clarinet. And as soon as you went in your pocket play the money, they wanted to play the vibe. And as soon as you went in your pocket play, they want to play every instrument. They ain't paying for nothing, but they want to play every instrument. I can run faster than these shoes. I can play better than these. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you tell me what you want? That boy see you spend your money. Oh, you're doing a good job at that now. Huh? See, so everybody wants to do something. Everybody wants to be something. But nobody wants to pay the cost. Nobody wants to come. Nobody want to meet it right where the tire hit the asphalt. Nobody want to go right there. Nobody want to meet God at the crossroad in life and say, God is love. And you first got to have love in your heart. God searched the heart and the reins, and you got to come to God correctly. You got to come to God correctly. Not without everybody won't. Nowadays, when you cut on the internet, you got, that's a lot of prophets out there. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people that came to me, that people that told something that I know wasn't right. I wasn't going to argue with them. I wasn't going to fight with them. They ain't none of mine. Huh? Why would I start a fight with them? I got enough witches I fight now. Enough warlocks I fight now. Why would I fight with them? See what I'm saying? I'm going from point A to point B. Amen. Everybody wants to be that mouthpiece, but nobody want to line up with God. Nobody want to get right with God. Still them on Facebook about evangelists we had at the church. You know, I mean, good people, solid in ministry and everything else. But at a point in life where the devil thought he had an advantage, it was going to take over the advantage. And I kept telling you, if you ever been telling somebody what to do, it's like, watch them pray, watch, they ain't going to do this, and they ain't trying to hear it. And it ain't, if it ain't watch them pray, it's something else. It's something you got to do on a consistent basis. It's okay. They're still traveling the same highway. See, as a man of God, this I know. When you come to me, I pretty much know what highway you travel. See what I'm saying? And it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Amen. I'll tell you, I said, well, I need this done. Get this to me 2 or 3 months in advance. If it's done in a week or 2, that's the same spirit that wouldn't watch and pray. That's the exactly the same spirit. You don't want to hear nothing the prophet say. You don't want to hear nothing. It's going to do it because I know how church go. I know how things go. So I'm going to do it my way. I ain't got no problem with it. God going to provide. God going to make it. But you and God, that's that same identical spirit. See, one thing, I better be careful with this because of the women. But these young girls, they don't know. You meet somebody, you probably meet somebody, young man like you. You probably meet a blonde and she be all right. And then the next day you meet a brunette and she talking good. Nowadays you can meet them with red hair, green hair, and they talking good. You ever notice something about the women? Well, not really, because you really can't notice nothing about it. See, because a woman can change a wig so fast, you won't even know you're talking to the same woman. You understand what I'm saying? They can put more clothes on than the other one here, and she look thicker than the other girl. You understand what I'm saying? They can trick you in a minute now. You understand what I'm saying? And in the spirit realm, you can do the same thing. In the spirit realm, you can do the same thing. But with God, He the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. He will always be the same. He will always be the same. Let me say this to you. The harvest is plenty, the labors are few. But you don't need to be mixed up trying to do anything for God. You don't need to be, you have to, look at, there's a period in your life where you have to line yourself up with God and say, Father, I've sinned against heaven and in your sight. Now, most of us already in a repentant state. Most of us already repented. We've already passed that category. Now we got to line up the method that we do things. God does things decent and order. God has a strategic way of doing things because any other way don't work. You know, there's sure as there's a God, there's a devil. And you can find yourself trying to do the same thing and can't never get it done. You can find yourself trying to move forward and can't never get it done. There is but one way, and that's the way of God. And when God calls you in, look at God. As quickly as he acknowledged Peter, he had to rebuke Peter. But the same Peter had to take the praise and he had to take the rebuke in the same way. The same Peter had to go through the same thing. The same Peter had to hear the same thing. You have to be wise as a serpent, wise as a dove, because God is testing you for the next place He's taking you in. God is taking this ministry to another level. God is preparing the people for another level. Is God taking everybody? I don't know that. I don't know that. But what God is doing is He's dealing with kindred spirits. The same God that's taking me from point A to point B told me don't be unequally yoked. In other words, you got to line up with people that's going to be about the Father's business. If you understand what I said? I said people is not about their own business, people that's not got their own agenda, but people that's about the Father's business. You understand what I'm saying? In the times that we are living in, and you looking at things and they're looking pretty good to you now, you better go and celebrate now. You better go and celebrate now. But things are going to keep looking good for the faithful. Things are going to keep looking good for those that's walking by faith. They're not going to change, but there's a change that's coming around. You ever notice how many people that are talking about shifting? You ever notice about from the big to the large talking about shifting? You ought to do a search on shifting. They said the shifting is in the atmosphere. It's in the climate. It's in the North Pole and the South Pole, the cold and the winter. They're talking about a shift, but they're talking scientifically. Nobody really knows all the keys. Nobody really knows all the facts. They're talking about a shift, a steady shift. And that's actually going on. See, there's always something going on. The devil is up to something as well as God is up to something. There's always something going on. But you got to, in this season that you're in this time that you're in with God, you have to have an ear to be like Jehoshaphat. Is there not a prophet of God in here? Is there not a prophet of the Lord in here? Is there not somebody that has a relationship with God that's hearing God's voice? That's speaking on God's behalf? Because you can't start saying jumping everything because everybody said, and because it's the popular thing to do or say. You can't start adding a bunch of professional musicians in just because that's the popular thing. If they don't have the heart of God, if whoever's speaking over your life is not speaking from the Spirit of God, then what spirit they speaking over you? We just get to another. If whoever is playing is not playing from the leadership of the Holy Spirit, what are they playing over your life? What is that music? What is that music speaking in your life? Do you not know that music is a universal language? Do you not know that the devil was over music? Do you not know that the piper is piping? And he can lead you anywhere to do anything? Do you know half of the people that go to the bar, they just want to hear some good music? Do you know as soon as a person gets saved, if you add that same beat with a little music, praise it. Oh, I feel good. Yes, you do. I woke up some of that OG. Oh, I'm sorry, you're a Scotch here. Huh? Believe me, I'm doing the best I can do to let you see what God is doing. God has turned some things around. And they're lined up. They're already blessed by you. But you're going to have to line yourself up if you're going to continuously do things the way you want to do them. As sure as I'm a man of God, as sure we're in ministry, I'm not going to wrestle with you. I'm going to let you do what you do. And I'm going to pray for you. But because God told me last night, he said, I only told you to feed the lamb, to feed the sheep, to feed you. I want you to let whoever want to do whatever they want to do, how they want to do it, let them do it. If the blind lead the blind, they both gonna fall in the ditch. You don't have to worry about that. If I give you something and you speak it and they line up with it and they go with the flow, then it's gonna work out. If not, it ain't gonna work out. See, things are narrowing up. Things are narrowing up. God is cutting back some fat. And the way through there is the straight and narrow. All that stuff that you can walk into the grocery store and they got this big sale going on, you better watch that food that you buy. You better make sure you're eating healthy. You better make sure your spirit is eating healthy food. You better make sure God sent somebody to speak over your life and not somebody that's got up and start speaking. You understand what I'm saying? You have to make sure that you line up because God has a blessing with your name on it. Somebody go on and give God some praise. God wants to get you to a certain place, want to take you to a certain place. But the thing is, you're not going your way. You're not going your way. Look here. I thought I knew about church and everything else. I thought I knew several times. You know what the Lord tell me? He said, except the Lord be in the house. So in other words, what I want you to do is just let go. What I want you to do is just stop jumping, wanting to do everything, and just let go. God will get me to where he's taking me. As long as I'm going to do this and going to do this and I'm into this and I'm going to do that, you ain't going nowhere. Just as sure as the Lord lives, you ain't going nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're not going to get somewhere and I did this and I did this and you ain't finna throw all that in God's face. He ain't finna hear it. You understand what I'm saying? God, he don't even want you to testify of it. You understand what I'm saying? Much longer do anything and say he had something to do with it. You did it with the wrong God. That's not Baal. It's not Baal. This is Jesus. Somebody say praise the Lord. Let us stand there.